Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video we are watching 10 unusual people you won't believe exist. Yeah, let's get into the video. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel and hit that notification bell so you are notified every time I post a video. So yeah, let's get into it.
Hi everyone! Some people hate being in the spotlight. Indeed, not everyone feels comfortable while other people are looking at them, often with disapproval. Others, by contrast, are doing everything they can to stand out from the rest. Of course, the easiest way to do this is to wear unusual clothes or look different. Well, if nature wasn't that kind to you, you can always resort to various body modifications like piercings or tattoos. Though one must be careful with this. Sometimes people don't know where to stop. Today, we'll tell you about people who went too far in their desire to stand out. Let's get it on! Flesh tunnels. In the first decade of the 21st century, the rock culture welcomed a new trend: earplugs. Those are piercings usually inserted in a stretched earlobe. These accessories can be of different sizes and shapes, and sometimes they are used in other parts of the body. For example, cheeks, nose, tongue, or lip. Of course, not everyone can appreciate the aesthetics of such jewelry. Actually, this trend didn't come to our lives thanks to the fans of the heavy music genre. In fact, this body modification was common among primitive people. For example, earplugs could often be seen in the ears of the indigenous African people. In Hinduism, many sculptures of religious deities have ear stretchers. According to the rumors, even the pharaoh of ancient Egypt, Tutankhamun, wore plugs in his ears. The size of the plugs can be different. The most popular size is 10 millimeters in diameter, but the ear can be stretched several times more. However, the skin also has limits. Though this guy might argue with this statement, thanks to his 10-centimeter flesh tunnels, he got a mention in the Guinness Book of Records. The ear holes of Kala Kauai from the U.S. state of Hawaii are so huge you can fit a hand through them. Moreover, they don't require any surgical intervention, but gradually stretched over the years. In addition to these spectacular flesh tunnels, Kala has many other unusual modifications. For example, silicone horns implanted on his head, stretches in his nostrils, tattooed eyebrows, and studs all over his face. He's also the owner of a large tattoo and piercing studio, which is actually not that surprising. Parrot Man. People used to call this guy from the Bristol Ted Richards, but now he's known as Ted Parrot Man. Yes, you heard right. For many years now, Ted has been striving to look like a parrot. He has more than 100 tattoos on his face and body. He also has over 50 types of piercings, eye tattoos, and a split tongue. To look like his feathered friends, he even cut off his ears. By the way, after the surgery, Ted realized that without ears, he would struggle to keep his glasses on. He had to put in 2 metal studs into the side of his head. Ted's desire to look like parrots is not limited to experiments with his body. He turned his entire house into a large bird cage where he lives with his own kind and sometimes even shares meals with parrots. Ted made his first tattoo back in 1976, and since then, body modifications became an integral part of his life. He does not talk with his family, claiming that his beloved parrots have long since become his family. Sounds a bit weird, but if he doesn't bother anyone, can you really blame him? Last year, Ted got engaged to his girlfriend Rebecca, who fully shares his passion. By the way, there is a scientific explanation behind Ted's behavior. There is a condition called species dysphoria. It means some people feel uncomfortable in the human body and identify as another type of mammal or some other animal. Clown for life. A lot of people are wary of circus clowns, and some are even scared of them. Psychologists even recognize a specific phobia related to the irrational fear of clowns. But Richie from Los Angeles has a different story. In early childhood, his father took him to a costume show where he first saw a clown. The image of the red-nosed, jolly people in colored wigs stuck with him so much that the boy was determined to become one when he grew up. There was one problem, though. Richie said the passion was hairdressing. Without thinking twice, he found a way to combine these two dreams. He decided to cut people's hair while dressed as a clown, surprising them with juggling skills and other tricks. Some time passed, people appreciated the original idea, but then there was another problem. Richie was tired of constantly using makeup and keeping it fresh throughout the day. So he resorted to a radical solution. He decided to stay like this forever. He tattooed his face, twisted his mustache, put implants under his skin, and dyed his hair red. Apparently, the customers are delighted with his image, but we must admit, with scissors in his hands, he still looks a bit scary. tattoo world record.
They don't even think about what they'll look like when they're old
thing for a
and
long and
wrinkled
happy
and
life together is to find a partner just as crazy as you are, because your life will never be boring. Charles Helmke and Charlotte Gutenberg prove this. They are the most tattooed senior people on the planet, with 91.5% of their bodies covered in artistic inking. It's amazing that Charlotte, who turned 70 not so long ago, made her first tattoo when she was 57. This happened right after the death of her first husband, who was always against tattoos. She met her new and more understanding companion, Charles, in 2006. They met at a tattoo studio right before Charlotte was about to have a very large tattoo on her hip. The woman was visibly nervous, and Charles, like a true gentleman, gently took her hand and talked to her for 2 hours. That's how their amazing love story began. Charles, who was 8 years older than Charlotte, made his first tattoo in the late 50s. At that time, he served in the American Army, but when he returned to his civilian life, he continued to apply more and more patterns to his body. And today, there's almost no available space on his body. By the way, Charles and Charlotte have 2 other records for the largest number of tattoos of skulls and feathers, respectively. At the same time, strangely enough, they do not have matching tattoos. Aliens on Earth.
Shocking.
Hardly anyone on our planet knows for certain whether aliens exist and what they actually look like.
The phone down.
But these guys from Canada look
Oh
a lot
my
like them
God.
on Instagram. They wage war against modern fashion and surprise their followers with shocking outfits. Hannah Rose Dalton and Stephen Raj Bhaskaran are both not even 30 years old, but they are already making a real revolution in the fashion industry. The style of unusual designers is known for strange textures and horror themes.
Oh my
For
God.
example, they often create outfits in the form of human skin or go for zombie-like looks. In short, they are doing everything they can to fight mainstream fashion and commercially successful brands. In their opinion, trends and luxury clothing brands are nothing but rubbish, not worth spending your money on. The only thing that matters is whether you like the clothes or not. Hannah and Steven put on their outfits not only for the sake of photo shoots or interviews. In their own words, an image of an alien has already become an integral part of their life. The couple wears normal clothes only during workouts in the gym. Their typical morning begins with shaving eyebrows and their head. Before
At
they
least
meet
it's
each
not,
other, the
like,
designers
permanent.
didn't stand out in terms of outfits or style. Hannah says she used to look like a library employee, and Steven simply could not discover his style. The fateful meeting changed everything. They achieved not only the freedom of expression, but also established their brand, and they are quite successful. Even the famous fashion edition Vogue wrote about this unique duo.
At
Endless
least it ain't
tattoos.
tattoo or
Black color
implant
will
or
certainly
anything
never
into
go out of
themselves.
style. It's universal. Depending on the
That's how it's
situation, a
supposed to
black
be.
outfit can look strict, solemn, seductive, or mourning. By the way, this color is very popular in the tattoo industry. There's even a special style called black work used for large-scale black tattoos, where black color or a gloomy geometric pattern can be applied to a small area on the body. Some people cover half of their arms or legs with this color, but there's hardly a more dedicated black work fan than this guy from England. Throughout 10 years, he painted his whole body, including his lips and whites of his eyes, with black tattoo paint. The result already looks quite scary, but Eli's not gonna stop there. He covers his tattoos with more and more layers to keep the color fresh. As Eli puts it, his dream was to look like an abstract character from a Picasso painting. Whether he really looks like it or not cannot be debated, but the important thing is that Eli is more than satisfied with the way he looks. Alien
What the hell wrong
Housewives.
with love?
In 1972, the famous American writer Ira
What the
Levin
hell
wrote the
wrong
novel
with
The
his
Stepford
laugh?
Wives, which received a cinema adaptation with Nicole Kidman as the main character. The plot is based on exemplary housewives who look nice and friendly, but have many dark secrets. These characters became the inspiration for the British artist and model Juno Birch, who loves to transform into alien versions of exemplary wives and mothers. The girl posts various video sketches and photos, where she wears the outfits from the 50s and 60s and applies space-themed makeup.
Oh my God.
Juno often paints her face pink
Oh
and
my
purple,
God.
which makes her look even more like a visitor from some distant planet. She says that since she was a kid, she was inspired by Tim Burton films and characters from the cult game Sims. She tries to recreate these characters in her unusual works. Tattoo Man. Meet Lucky Diamond Rich. Tattoos cover about 350% of his body. Wait a second, how's that possible? It's simple. He applied several layers of tattoos on all parts of his body, even the most intimate ones. So no wonder that in the Guinness Book of Records, this New Zealander is mentioned as the most tattooed person in the whole world. Lucky says that he was interested in this type of visual art since he was a kid. Back then, he made a promise to himself that when he grew up, he would apply as many tattoos as possible on his body. Well, as we see in the end,
Why
he
is
even
that
had to
like
do it
people's
multiple
dream?
times. He didn't have enough space on his skin. By the way, Lucky spends almost all of his free time in the circus. He works as a professional juggler and sword swallower. And apparently, children and adults are not afraid of him. On the contrary, they love him. Lucky used to spend all the money he earned on tattoos.
Oh, come on!
Now he doesn't do them anymore, because there is simply no space left on his body, but he can operate the tattoo machine to make tattoos for other people. Living skull. Skulls are perhaps one of the most popular tattoo designs. Most people don't see anything bad about putting an image of the skull on their bodies, but Eric Hincapie Ramirez from Colombia went one step further. He did everything he could to make his face look like a dead man's skull.
Oh my freaking goodness. Why?
It all started with a massive tattoo in the form of facial bones. Well, we've already seen this, although it does look very scary, but Eric did not stop there. He removed his nose and auricle so that the resemblance was even stronger. He began to modify his body since he was 12, after he lost his mother. The Skeleton Man says that this is his way to approach the afterlife when he meets his mother again in heaven. Eric also split his tongue and painted it gray, as well as tattooed the whites of his eyes. He also wants to turn his whole body into a tattooed skeleton. The guy tries to ignore haters, believing their arguments are stupid. After all, we all look the same under the skin, he says.
Oh my God.
Did you think all these crazy tattoos and body modifications are a sign of a new era?
Not
quite. Horace Riddler was born back in 1892 and grew up in a wealthy English family. He served twice in the British Army and even fought in the First World War. After he returned from the battlefield to his native Surrey County, he wanted to become a different person. Soon he went to a famous tattoo artist, a very rare profession at that time, and asked him to paint his entire body. The artist's name was George Burchett, and he covered Riddler's entire body with wide black stripes that looked like that of a zebra. It took the master about 150 hours to complete the process. Horace also made several piercings with the help of his friend who was a vet. Another one of his friends, a dentist, polished his teeth to make them look like fangs. So Horace became one of the first people in history to make so many body modifications. Later, he adopted the name The Great Omi and started to perform in circuses around the world. At the peak of his career, he did up to 10 shows a day. When the Second World War began in Europe, Horace tried to join the army again, but was rejected because of his eccentric appearance. Then he decided to donate his services, giving free performances to troops and charity organizations. He continued to perform until the early 50s, when he retired at the height of his fame.
People are so, like, weird. I mean, as long as all these things they're doing is making them happy, that's all that matters. But, like, people with all these tattoos and piercing. I mean, piercings, yeah, you could take them out, but at the same time, you have these holes for the rest of your life. What if your skin gets all wrinkly and old and saggy and stuff like that? All of that is just gonna drop. I mean, nowadays they have surgeries and, you know, stay young pills, you know, so they don't really have to worry about it too much. But at the same time, I mean, obviously if they have this amount of money to do these type of things, they have enough money to keep up with it. So yeah, that's the end of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. And don't forget to hit the notification bell so you are notified every time she posts a video. Bye.